How is it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna be doing another POV driving video. If you're new to my channel, pretty much during these videos I kind of just try to like shut up and drive. I did, however, I previously did film a full review on this Audi A3 E-Tron, so if you want more information and the specs and everything of this specific car, definitely go check that out. I'll leave a link to that probably up top in the video right now. Yeah, like I mentioned before, I did do the actual review on this car, and I have actually driven this car multiple times before. I guess the best way I could describe this car is being very comfortable and like easy to drive, but it also could be a little bit sporty, nothing too crazy. But since it is a hybrid, you do get some of that instant torque with the kind of batteries that are working with the internal combustion engine. And also you do have, of course, different drive modes. Right now I am in dynamic, but you can switch that to individual, which I guess is, just personal preference, like whatever you have set up for the car. Comfort mode, auto mode, and again into dynamic. And we can switch it over into the sport / manual mode. I do know that when it's in this mode you have to shift it. I'm pretty sure it's not going to like automatically go back to automatic if you decide not to shift or whatever. I know some newer vehicles do that. And you can also go ahead and turn stability or stabilization control off, which is basically just traction control. So you can turn that on and off. You have the different drive modes, pretty much everything that you would expect from a new vehicle, newer luxury kind of sporty vehicle. Yeah, and you can tell when traction control is off, you could definitely get wheel spin with this thing, which is definitely more fun than having it on, for sure. And also another great thing about this vehicle is that there's really not that much of a delay when you're shifting and you're downshifting. I know that with some of the automatic vehicles, especially like the ones that are more older, you kind of click it, whether you're upshift, you downshift, whatever, and there's like almost a half second, or even again in some of them it's like a full second delay, which is absolutely ridiculous. But this one it does shift pretty quick, this car. switching it back over auto, turning the traction control back on and going into comfort mode and rolling up the windows, you can tell the suspension gets a little bit looser almost immediately. It's not an incredibly noticeable difference, but the car, I feel like that's common sense, but the car is definitely a little bit more stiffer when it is in that dynamic mode, or that sport mode, whatever you want to call it. But this car is extremely comfortable when it's in this comfort mode. The windows are up, it's very quiet in here. And one thing that's actually really surprising about this car, honestly, is, well, I know that a lot of, you know, German brands, BMW, Audi, Mercedes, they get a lot of hate sometimes for their whole reliability compared to some, you know, cheaper car brands or car manufacturers, I should say. But this car actually does have just under 90,000 miles on it, right at 89,280 miles to be exact. And it really doesn't feel like that. This car has definitely been taken care of. It feels like maybe 50,000 miles. I mean, it drives great, and it's, you know, knock on wood, the owner hasn't had any like major issues with this thing throughout its lifetime. And also another feature, if you're in drive and you literally just kind of tap the gear shift down, it actually does put it in sport mode. And if you're, or I guess sport shifting mode, not really the same as the dynamic mode that I was telling you guys before, but if you pop it back down, then it goes back into like regular drive. It just shifts, it basically just kind of, it's different shift points for the car when it's still automatic, like it's different from popping it in manual. But I'd figured I'd mention that as well, because I think towards the beginning of the video, I maybe refer to the manual option as more of like a sport / manual mode, but that's actually not what it is. The sport mode is still an automatic mode. It basically just sets the shift points for the car a little bit differently than as opposed to regular drive. Wrap it up for today's video. Again, if you want more informative video on this exact Audi A3 E-Tron, definitely go click that link and check out the full review that I did on this car, I believe back in January. And also, if you guys aren't subscribed, definitely be sure to subscribe down below and leave a like on this video. It helps me out a lot as a smaller YouTuber. But like always, guys, thank you for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one.